Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Doc Anime Robin. In this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the S.H. Figuarts King Cold from Dragon Ball Z. And this figure is manufactured by Bandai Tamashii Nation. As you can see, this figure is still enclosed in its transport box. So now I will first remove the set from this brown box here. So, as you can probably see here, it's a really large figure. Well, at least the box set for this figure is quite large. Now, before opening this set, let's check what details along the box can show us. And before that, I want to do a little quick size comparison here. So these are various versions of S.H. Figuarts of Frieza. We have Frieza in his fourth form, Frieza in his full power mode, and then Frieza in his cybernetic or mecha form. And for those who have read Dragon Ball Manga or watched the Dragon Ball Z anime series should know King Cold is father to the great villain Frieza and his older brother Cooler. And in the series, it's shown that King Cold is like at least 3 times the size of Frieza. So in this case, it seems like the Tamashii Nation is keeping the size detail accurate. And just as with most S.H. Figuarts, we have transparencies to see through and take a look at the figures itself. So it's kind of rather large of S.H. Figuarts. And well, it's hard to see everything through this because apparently there could be a lot of accessory here. There's probably a cape back there, and as you've seen here, King Cold does wear a large cape. And here's some looks and poses that he does in the manga and anime series, and as most Dragon Ball fan might know that in his brief time in the series, he did try to attack Trunks, or sorry, let me be specific, future Trunks with his sword. So apparently the sword is probably included in this set as well. And here we have here, it's showing us that like all S.H. figure art, this figure is gonna have great articulation for the posability, so you can do a lot of different display with the figure. And there's like a big throne or chair he's sitting on, so that is likely included in this set as well. And he's the Mecha Frieza standing by him. This is like kind of recreating the scene from the series that the King Cold's brief appearance is accompanied by his younger son in his cyborg or mecha form. Now, let's get this open. Oops, there's two split parting here. It's so big, it's hard to handle, but as you can see, we have the main figure of King Cold here, and as we saw on the case, there's the big chair or throne for him to sit on. This is like the top part of the cape. And here we have his tail and the various interchangeable hands and face pieces with different expression. And there's future Trunks sword to be held by him. And this one is like resized so that it's more fitting to be held by someone in his size. And apparently there's like somewhat different parts of the cape as well. In the set, we also have a printed instruction manual here for King Cold, as usually they are for all S.H. figure arts. And here it talks about which hands, which they even give them alphabetic designations here, and how the head can be removed in order to apply the different face pieces, and how to assemble the body by putting the cape pieces and tails on. On the back, again, it shows us we can remove the arm in order to put the cross arm parts on, and how he can hold the sword here by removing the hilt and putting the hand, and then relock the sword in the hand by putting the hilt pieces back in there, and how you can make him sit on the chair. Now I will start setting up the figure by taking them out of the plastic cases and putting the pieces together. Similar to all S.H. figure arts, the figure will, when first coming from the manufacturer, they have always some kind of plastic sleeve on, I suppose for protection or to show they're brand new. So the figure is capable of good balance. It can stand on its own. Now to set up the figure, there are 3 pieces you have to attach to its back. We have like this large piece of the cape or cloak, and this is the top part of the cape or cloak. And his tail, all these have to go on the back of the figure. Well, obviously the tail is to be attached like that. And then on the back, these 2 hinges going into the holes. Okay. There we go. And then the same thing with this piece here. Now we got it. So, and they actually have like part of the cloak already building on his shoulder armor, so this will give the impression the whole cloak extend to his shoulder armor. Well, in actuality, it's not really all one piece, but at least it'll give the appearance that it is. Now, let's check out this figure's articulation. So let's start with the tail. There are several rotation joints on the tail, so if you don't want to see it on one side, you can always turn it. And as you see, these joints allow many different rotations and flexibility. Maybe it's fitting that the tail kind of resembles an earthworm. So if you don't want to see the tail set to one side, you can just set it straight like that. Now, although now the tail's between its legs. And again, the cape is also, at least it can move up and down, so if you want it, you can pull up, so kind of to give the impression like it's being blown by wind. His shoulder armor piece can move up and down. Head can also look left and right, down and up. His arms has many, well, maybe not many, but enough joints that allow you to do a lot of posture. can move up and down enough that it looks like he can kick, and this joints around its knee. Same thing on the other leg. And his torso is also articulated. Now we can move left and right as well as up and down. And his feet is also capable of have a high range of motion down here. Same thing with the other feet. So with all these articulation, you can make him put on almost all kinds of poses that you can imagine with a few limitations. Now let's start exploring how different face can look on this figure. And unlike most S.H. figure art, whose different face is applied by taking the face pieces or head pieces off the figure and then replace with a default face or headpiece. This figure has an alternate headpiece, which you have to attach the alternate face pieces on. And then attach it to the neck of the figure. So this hole here. Now we have to literally remove the head. Yeah. Attaching headpieces can always get a little tricky because you have to keep the support piece stable to do that. Okay, now here we have it. Now this is King Cold with different kind of smile. And here we have him doing like some form of battle cry or yelling kind of expression. The last face piece is also expression of frustration. He's clenching his teeth, like really angry. Now it turns out the default face can also be removed from the default headpiece, so you can always have two different expressions ready for you to exchange. And now I'm gonna have King Cold hold Trunks' sword. So again, in order to do that, we're gonna pull out his fist. But before that, we're gonna put the sword in the alternate handpiece first, which, as you see in what the instruction told us before, we have to remove the hilt and put it back on. So now it's holding the sword. There we go. Okay, now we are holding the sword. And this is him holding the sword with both hands. And here we have him with a more open hand. This hand is useful for him to make like he's reaching out, trying to grab or crush someone with his big hand pose. Let's try on the piece in which that can make him look like he has his arm crossed, and of course in order to do that we're gonna remove his arms. It's not gonna be an easy test because it's kind of rather tight tune. So those, it's you have to do it very carefully. You pull too hard, it might damage these parts. But if you don't pull hard enough, you're not gonna get the pieces out. No. You probably have to set them in the right angle first, and then put it on. Again, no easy task. Okay, we got this side, so now I have to do it this side as well. Here we go. Apparently, this is part of the reason why the shoulder armor need to be flexible, so it will not be broken when you try to put on this move. And here we go, King Cold crossing his arms. So now let's work on the unique posture and feature for this set, which is King Cold sitting on his big chair. Now, in order to have the figure sit on the chair, you have to switch the cloak on the figure's back. This other cloak is too big, so you need to like put on this alternate smaller piece. Now, first, in order to get the big cloak out, you have to remove the top piece first, unfortunately. And then attach this alternate piece on. Then put the top piece back on. In order for King Cold to perform the sitting postures, you will need to apply to these set of hands, and on the back you have to set the tail totally to another side so that the tail won't get in the way of sitting down. And of course, you're gonna bend the legs for sitting and the torso bend. So now see how the edge of this alternate cloak piece can actually fit into the chair. And we can have him hold his face or head. And his other hands go on his knees. Oops. And that's basically it. And with this figure, you can also have a setting next to Mecha Frieza. So this portrays their scenes together from the Dragon Ball Z series. So that's all the feature for this figure. And as you see, this is a rather large S.H. figure arts, and unfortunately it is of a very short-lived villain in this Dragon Ball franchise, but the detail size is done very accurate. And again, if anyone saw the Dragon Ball Z anime series or read the Dragon Ball manga, you know King Cold is portrayed to the accurate size with this figure compared to other character. And so if you want to add a imposing or kind of terrifying looking villain into your series, this is a good collection, again because his large appearance is set up like a big evil boss kind of look, and so it's kind of really it can function well as a big villain to your collection of Dragon Ball heroes. Although, but again, although the fact that he's a very short-lived villain in the franchise makes his collectible value a little low. However, it has a lot of articulation, and his large size makes it easy to work with. And unlike most S.H. figure art, it does not really require a stand to help pushing his posability potential to the maximum, because his tail actually helps with balancing a lot. So he can stand very well, and as long as you can adjust the tail to compensate his weight and balance. But this figure is also quite expensive. It's at least twice the price of a regular S.H. figure art. So if you don't feel like a short-lived villain is worth that price, you probably don't want to think about getting this figure. However, if you do want to complete a collection of heroes and villains, you probably want to think hard before writing this figure off. And in terms of functionality, as you see, it has all the good points any S.H. figure art has. So in terms of any reason one might get a SH Figuart. It's all there. So what's left is depending on whether you really want this character or not. And if you already have collected other member of Frieza's race, such as any version of Frieza's SH Figuarts or his older brother and King Cold's other son, Cooler, so you probably really should add their father to the collection as well. So this concludes my review for this set. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel. And please check out other videos in my channel. If you have any questions, please post them in the comment section. I will answer with the best of my ability.